For a split second, just close your eyes. Now think about a time when you were 11 years old, the time when you were really not strong enough, at least physically. Now think somebody held you as a prisoner, locked you into a small room with no clothes on your body, just a wrap around blanket. Door locked from outside, which gets opened only when somebody wishes to use your body and go away. And this routine continues not for a day, a month, a year, but 18 long years. So, what feelings erupt in your mind? Anger, hopelessness, helplessness, fear, frustration, and so on? I'm sure they do. At least in my life, if I were imagining, actually they came into my mind. And trust me, reading this book, between the pages 9 through 21, the first 12 or 13 pages, they hit so hard I was not able to pick this book up. For a couple of weeks, I resisted and thought about changing the book and read something else. But then something hit and probably sanity prevailed. I wanted to understand the pain somebody endured for 18 years and why did they endure? How did they endure? And what's next for them? How they were rescued. And that's this book, A Stolen Life. A Stolen Life of J.C. Dugard, narrated by J.C. Dugard. One of the most moving books for me, at least. I know I won't be able to do justice a summary of this book, and I don't dare do it because I cannot narrate the pain. I don't think I can even understand the pain he must have lived through. So, my split has been in terms of my emotions and my feelings when I was reading this book. So, that is my only takeaway. Nothing else which I can highlight from this powerful book and a moving book for me. Feelings, from my perspective, they've revolved around the trauma and the effects. The trauma when she was actually taken, and the effects every day, how she dealt with them, and she continued to just live the life in fear. The survival, if I were to use that word, because yeah, she was living. However, nobody actually, the justice system, were unable to even trace her to really make it a survival. She survived to thrive, thrive to live, and that's pretty much how it was. The resilience in terms of her thought process that she went through, the failure of justice system. We all know how for 18 years nobody could see the backyard of a felon who actually was a convict anyway. The hope and healing which she had, the hope she had to meet her mother, her friends, and the healing which she was potentially imagining every day while writing her journals. My feelings of happiness after reading were in the family support, the society support, the advocacy groups, the therapists, and the other organizations, how they thronged the moment she was rescued. And by the way, the rescue was accidental. It was not that it had been planned. It just happened, but somebody was good and thinking enough to connect some dots, and she was saved. So these were all the feelings which I had while I read this book. From the emotions per se, the very fact how she narrated all the actions which were happening daily onto her body, from the abduction to physical restraints she was put under, the mental trauma, the mind wash which she was subjected to, the control, isolation, and the threats and intimidation, all reminds me of the true human trafficking, a human trafficking of sort. She was trafficked as and for as a sex slave. The physical and psychological abuse she had to bear for 18 long years. Exploitation not only of her body but her mind as well. The coercion, the accidental rescue. Again, that is one emotion which I felt angry and happy about. That at least she was saved. And sad that she was saved after losing 18 years of her life. And finally, even I was surprised, or maybe that's a proof that there is something called Stockholm Syndrome. She got so close to her captive that she had no other choice but to rely on him for everything. Not to dare do any more takeaways, I would say A Stolen Life is one of the most moving books which split me in terms of my emotions and feelings after reading a book. So, as I close, I would highlight last point. For 18 years, she was given a new name instead of JC Dugard. So I would say I'm happy that she regained her name on August 26, 2009. And she took her name back, and that's what I think we should call her as not a victim, but a survivor. A lovely book. If you dare, do read. It's an impressive illustration of the feelings and the pain a human body can endure. Thank you.